my channel once again. My name is Kwaku Dapa, and in today's tutorial we're going to learn about how to clean data with Microsoft SQL, or how to clean data with SQL. So first of all, I want to profile the data so that we know the kind of data that we're going to clean. So the name of the database is email subscription, so I will change this master to email subscription. Then under email subscription I have the table email table, so I'll select all from email underscore TBL. So this is how you select a table from, or you select records in a table from a database. Select all. So star means everything. All right, so let me execute this. So basically this is what we have in our table. So this table is an email subscription data set which has the ID of the subscribers, the type, so either business or individual. Then we also have the status, which is spelled wrongly, so we have to correct this column as well. So we have inactive and active. Then we have the city, the state, postal code, gender code, birth date, marital status. So this one too needs to be corrected, this column. Then we have the enrolled on year or date. Then we have living status, which also needs to be corrected. So basically this is what we are going to do. This is the cleaning and transformation that we are going to do. So first of all, we will change the column names of it's supposed to be status, not StatUnmarried. So we have to correct this. So first of all, we are going to correct some column names. Then we also group some columns. That's the gender column. Then we also group the type column. Then we will work on the living status. We need to transform or correct some errors. Then we also transform some columns into proper cases. Then we also split the year from the date. All right, so the first cleaning is we are going to correct this column name. So to do that in SQL, or to use SQL to do that in Microsoft SQL. So we are using Microsoft SQL, which is a relational database management system developed by Microsoft. All right, so we will use the exec function or statement in MySQL. So this is a function that we can use to rename columns. So I'll use the exec rename function. Then we will call the table, so email underscore TBL, then dot the column that we want to change. So the first column that we want to change is StatUn. So you have to provide the exact column spelling. Marrieds in quotes, then comma, then you provide the correct name that you want to use. So it will be marital underscore status. All right, so that one has to also be in quotes, then followed by the keyword column. Okay, so column. All right, so let me run this code and see its effect on the table. Okay, so the code has run successfully. So let me try and select everything from the table again. So select star from email underscore TBL. So that's the name of the table. Right, so now the column has changed successfully. Okay, then we need to also change the gender code column to only gender. So what I'll do is I'll just make a copy of this code, then instead of gender I'll just type gender code, then rename it to gender. Okay, so I'll select all and execute the code. It's successful. I'll make a copy once again. Then what column again? Alright, so we are going to change the marital status, which is wrong. So I need to type the wrong or provide the wrong spelling. So marital state. So these are common mistakes that can be made when or during data entry. So data cleaning is a very important part of data analysis. Okay, so marital status. Okay, right, so I'll correct this. Then the first one, okay, I think we made a mistake in the first correction. The stats, it was supposed to be status, not marital status. So I will change it back to this and change this to status rather. All right. Okay, so now we have corrected that error. So now we have status here, so we can go ahead and rename this. Okay, then the last column name that we need to edit is this one. Is it LivingStatusUnmarried, which is supposed to be living status. So I'll provide the wrong spelling. So living underscore state on marrieds. Then I'll change it to living status, living underscore status. Okay, right, so basically we are done correcting all the typos in the column names. Okay, so I can clean these codes because we don't need them anymore. Right, the next thing is to group gender to male, female, and other. So now let's try and write this code to see. Okay, so select all from email. I want to group by gender. Okay, so first of all we need to provide gender as a column, then we count the IDs. Okay, then I'll group by, okay, so gender, group by gender. Let's see. Okay, so we have male not mentioned, female and other, but we want only male, female and other. So that means we need to update not mentioned with other, and to do that we will use the update function in Microsoft in SQL. Right, So I will just let me get rid of this code. So to do that for okay, so to do that, that's question 2. All that I need to do is write update, then we call the table that we want to update email underscore tbl. Okay, then we set the column, which is gender. Okay, so we set the column gender. I want to be sure of the question that we are solving. Okay, so we are solving question 2. Okay, all right, so we set the gender column 2. So gender equal to other. Then we provide the where clause, so equal to other where currently the value is equal to not mentioned. It should be in quotes because it's text or strings. All right, okay, all right, so update email table, set gender, set gender equal to other where gender is equal to not mentioned. All right, so let me run this code. Invalid column name not mentioned. Okay, it's supposed to be single quotes, I guess. All right, update email table, set here too has to be in single quotes because they are all text or strings. Okay, so now we've updated the table. So let me paste this code again and run it to see. Okay, so now we have male, female, and other. Okay, so question 3, question 3 wants us to group type into individual and businesses. So we can use this to see the current grouping. Instead of gender, we change it to type, which is the column name. Okay, right, so let me run this and see. So currently this is what we have, but we just want to group it into individual and business. So I will just do copy and paste once again and just change the text. So as a programmer, you need to be familiar, or you need to do more of copy and paste so that it can move faster. So I will change the column from gender to type. All right, then we are going to set to individual where we have individual. So this is a typo, individ on married. dal. So this is a typo which needs to be corrected. So let's run the query. Okay, so we have a success. That means the row is corrected. I'll just make a copy of this, run this again. So now you see that individual is corrected. So now we need to correct this typo to is BUM married whatever. Okay, so I'll set the column to business. So all that we are doing is wherever we want to set the column to business, where we have the word B capital UN. I don't even know how to pronounce it. MMRRIEDSINES. So there's a typo, and this is how you can correct typos. You need to update the columns. Okay, so we have success now. So let's run and see the output. Okay, so now we've been able to group the type into individual and business. Okay, so we need to group living status into couple with children, couple without children, and single. Okay, so let me copy this and see how the grouping is currently. So we are now on 4, I guess. So now I'll just change from type to living underscore status. Right, then I'll group by living status. Okay, let me execute this. So currently this is what we have. So you see some typos here. So we need to correct these typos. So I think this one is supposed to be couple with children, and this one is couple without children. So we'll just update these typos into the correct forms. Okay, so I'll make a copy of this update, then I'll just change the columns. Okay, then instead of, I'll change couple with children. So I'll make a copy of this and paste it here. Then I'll copy this, which is the typo, and paste it here, and I just run the update command. Okay, so now it's updated successfully. So let me run this again to see. Right, so we need to correct this as well. So I'll just make a copy of this, then replace this one with what I just copied. Then I will change this to couple without. Alright, so when I run this, it will update the error. Okay, so now we have couple with children, single living alone, and couple without children. Okay, so 5 wants us to transform some columns into proper cases. So let's look at the columns. So when you look at the state column, you see that it's all in capital letters. The gender column is all in capitals. Marital status is in proper case. Living status is in all small caps. So we need to create a uniform records, or uniform kind of records in the table. So we either convert all to capitals, or we make all of them proper cases. So this is what we are going to do. So that is 5. Okay, so 5, let me push this a little. Okay, so these are what we are doing. So we are on 5. So how are we going to do that? Okay, so we can use the proper function to transform them. So update, or let me just make a copy of this because we are going to use. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll update the table set, then I'll use so I'll set the state. So I'll change the column to state. Then what I'll do is upper. I'll use upper into brackets. Then I'll call the state. So state is a column, so I don't need quotes. So state, comma 1. That is starting from the first letter. Okay, so I need to introduce another function which is called substring. Okay, right. Then I'll close this bracket plus, then I'll use another subscript, but then since we are converting only the first letter to capital and the second and the rest of the letters to lower cases. So lower into brackets substring, then into brackets we call the state again, then the remaining ones. So state starting from 2, then we will call the length function. So length gives the length of the text. So the length of the text minus 1, because we are converting the first letter to capital, we need to minus it from the full text. Okay, so basically this code will convert all the records under state into proper cases. Let's run it and see. Okay, so 99 rows affected. Let me select all to see. Right, so you see that the state is converted to proper cases. Okay, so we will do same for gender. So I'll just make a copy of this, then I will change the state to gender. All right, so all that you need to do is just run or just create one of the codes, then make a copy to update the others. Then the next one that we are going to update is the living status. So I'll just change the column to living underscore status, make a copy of it, bring it here, or replace gender with living status. So basically it's the same principle. All right, so the plus sign here means it's adding, after you convert the first letter to capital, add it to. So it's a concatenate. Plus means concatenate or add. So after converting the first letter to capital, add it to the rest of the letters that is converted to small caps. Okay, right, so now all our columns have been converted to capital. Okay, right, so the next or the last thing to do is to split a year from the date. So that's 6, and to do that we need to create a new column or add a new column to the table, which we will use the alter table statement to do that. So alter, then you call table. So what do you want to alter? We want to alter the email table. All right, and what do we want to do? We want to add a column to it, and the column will be enrolled underscore year. Okay, right. Then we give it a data type. So the data type will be an integer. So this is the first thing that we need to do. We will create a new column. So now we have a new column added to the table. Let's see if it's successful. Yes, so this is the new column, but currently doesn't have any records. So we need to update it with records. So I'll just make a copy of one of the update scripts. So what I'll do is I will call the column name, which is the new column, that's the enrolled year. Then we will set it to what? We want to set it to or we want to like the records that we want to put there is an extraction of the year from the date. So I'll use the year function. So this function will extract only the year from date. So the date column is enrolled on, so I'll provide that enrolled on. So by this we are telling SQL to extract the year from the enrolled on date and put it into the new column that we created. So let me run this and see. Okay, so success. So now let's run this code to see its effect. Okay, so you see that the table or the enrolled year column is now filled with only the year from the date. If we want to split the day or month, we can use the same approach, and instead of year we will put month there. If you want to extract the day too, we will just write day. But before that, we need to create a column. So assuming we want to do that, we have to create another column called month. I think we can do that. Let's try and see. So I'll just change this to enrolled month. Then I'll change this to enrolled day. I'll leave all as int data types. Right, so now I've successfully created these two columns, which we can check by running this. Okay, so now we have enrolled month and day. So all that we need to do is make a copy of this, paste to, change this to month and change this to day. Then I'll just select all and run. Okay, so now we've successfully extracted the year, month and day. Sorry, this is supposed to be enrolled on month. I've made a mistake. So you see the year has been replaced with month, so I need to do that correction. Then I'll call this enrolled day. Okay, so let me run this and come back here and run this again to correct the error. Okay, so now we've successfully extracted the year, the month and the day. Okay, so if we want to group by the year, I will just come and make a copy of this, go down, paste it there, change to enrolled underscore year, make a copy of this, put it here, then run. So you see now we have subscription for each of the years. So I can give it an alias name of count of subscription by year. Then I'll group it or order by the year column ascending. So this will order by the year column ascending. Okay, so in 2017 we had 409 subscriptions, 2018 5040, 2019 3902, then 2020 648. If we want to find by day, we can do same here. We just replace this with day, and this will give us our daily enrollment. So day 1, this is what we have, but it has grouped all the days in the various years. So we can, I think we are just moving out of our objective, so we can just stop here. So basically this is how we can clean our data successfully. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. If you've not subscribed, consider subscribing, and also don't forget to share this channel for others to also benefit. See you in the next tutorial.